Top of the morning to you. Good morning, happy Friday. It's the weekly Ascension update. I hope you're all right. I've just kind of easing into the Friday. Had a lovely workshop last night with Carolyn Bennett, starting the first of our three-part series, Stability, Unity and Love. And I wanted to talk a little bit, obviously there's quite a considerable amount of you that didn't attend last night. I want to talk about the aspect of stability a little bit this morning, because I think it's very important whilst we are moving through the current phase of the Ascension process that we are. Now, I'm going to talk about a subject that a lot of people are asking me about at the moment, because naturally it's we're all concerned about our loved ones, our partners, our colleagues, our friends, and one of the first real kind of like changeable aspects of the Ascension process that I noticed years ago, where after the cosmic moment in 2012, was when we wake up, when we raise our vibration, when we start using the 12 chakra column that we all now have in place and are kind of like accessing and interactive with on a daily basis. One of the kind of the most visible things that occurs in our world around us is located or linked to the sacral. The old patterns of our relationships and the people that very often that we had around us in the old paradigm will tend to drop away, and this can either happen kind of gracefully. As you raise your vibration, you step onto your new path, you meet new people, your world opens up in ways that you could never possibly imagine. But in a lot of cases, the light worker in question will go through a process where friends and family and all of the previous kind of anchors in reality drop away. Now, depending on the level of resistance that is in the person in question, this can either be accepted but not a particularly pleasant aspect, or it can be very jarring and very painful. Now, what I'm seeing at the moment is a lot of us who are very aware, very kind of anchored in our process, but are becoming increasingly worried about friends and family and loved ones and partners who aren't resonating on their frequency, meaning, you know, we've all kind of guaranteed ourselves on a bus, so to speak, but will others get a seat? And as far as I'm concerned, this Ascension process is for absolutely everybody who is here in physical, sharing this reality, regardless of their level of wisdom, is going to be coming through that vibrational gateway. I'm not worried so much about the people who aren't resonating with our particular aspect of our pathway at the moment. There are so many different ways of kind of manifesting spirituality and engaging in the world with a heart-centered way. So my message this morning is like, because I know it's causing worry, it's causing anxiety, it's causing instability. Don't worry if the people around you don't appear to be awake at the moment, okay? The 2 billion people that I'm referring to that have awoken or have been triggered since the beginning of the year, they are here. They are engaging, but in a different way. I know that might be quite difficult, because a lot of when we do what we do it with 100%. We're drawn to crystals, we're drawn to workshops, we're drawn to work with the ascended masters, the angels, all of the higher beings of light, and it's very distinctive. Okay, it's almost like a life choice, and quite a lot of us wear it as a label, almost with pride kind of thing. It becomes consuming, it becomes our life. But there are so many people out there at the moment who aren't going to be resonating on that particular, they're not going to be resonating with those particular interests, but it doesn't mean they're not awake. And what I want to kind of emphasize is the transition that people are making at the moment is from ego to heart. Now, if you take away all of the other kind of the fuss and the bother and all of the other things that we experience on the Ascension pathway, Ascension is moving, it's shifting vibration. Okay, when people ask me, well, you know, what is Ascension? What does Ascension means? It means changing vibration. It means changing consciousness. It means shifting from one bandwidth of energy to another. Now, to exist on this planet at the moment, to be here, to have a physical body on planet Earth while we're going through what we're going through, everybody around us is subject to the same energies and the same laws that we are. So they are going through exactly the same thing. But this transition between ego and heart is something that everybody is going to be traversing at different stages. There's big waves of us that have woken up in soul groups. But now what we're waiting for, and you've heard me talk about it many times, are the people that have been forced awake by the rising frequencies, by the increase in light, by the circumstances that are going on this year. And instead of being concerned about what other people are doing and what is happening within their process, what Carolyn and I were talking about last night is shifting focus back to you. Okay, and this is not an act of selfishness. This is an act of stability. This is an act of bringing it brings you out of the distractions, back into the focus, back into the you. Okay, and that at the moment is by far the best way to navigate what we're experiencing, because there are so many different levels of consciousness, there are so many different levels of awakening. Even when we're thoroughly on the other side of this gateway, we are still going to be surrounded by people who don't understand the things that we understand. They don't talk the same language, but there's going to be a level of mutual understanding that we didn't experience previously. Like, you know, just completely diverging. Like 500 years ago, if you had differing beliefs to the village next to you, there would be war, wouldn't there? But obviously in the future we're going to be living alongside so many different souls, but everybody has got their own version of reality. So worry not about the people around you. The most important thing at the moment is carrying your vibration in the highest frequency possible. As soon as you're knocked out of alignment, everything else around you is knocked out of alignment. Everything in your world, your reality, becomes out of kilter. Now, you've got 1,000 opportunities to get knocked out of alignment every single day, because you've only got to look at the news, you've only got to digest a bit of social media, or hear some kind of fear-laden gossip, which is kind of relayed via messenger. That's a popular way to do things at the moment, is that there seems to be an awful lot of kind of spreading of messages via Facebook messengers, like, you know, which is usually OMG, check this out, share this, and it's usually contained like messages of outrage or fear. I mean, naturally, yes, we've got to understand what's going on and be aware of this process, but it's the way in which it is being done, and the attitude that's being focused to it at the moment that it's generating the wrong vibration. So focus on your own stability, focus on staying grounded, focus on staying in a high frequency vibration. If things are concerning you, or you are feeling urged to reach out and grab somebody and save them from their situations or whatever their experience, please don't be tempted to do that unless you're actually asked to do so, because that's one of the little pitfalls on our pathway, is the old chestnut of save and rescue. In many cases, you will be given, like, you know, a full green light. If somebody needs an intervention, if it is necessary, which in quite a lot of it perfectly natural it could be, then you intervene. But there's always that fine line. If there's an aspect of you that's wanting to reach out and kind of do everybody's ascension process for them at the moment, kind of step back and refocus upon yourself. Now, our friends, our family, our loved ones, our partners. You know, the biggest worry, I think, for a lot of us is our, you know, the people that we've chosen as our life partners, because ultimately we are, if you're listening to this, the 99.9% certain that you will be the torchbearer of your lineage, which means you have the delightful responsibility of being the end of the line with all of the karma. You're the leading light, you're the one that everybody kind of turns to energetically, or at the moment you could be the one that everybody is turning on because you've got different beliefs or different outlooks or a different vibration completely. Again, just remove yourself from anything which is harmful or detrimental to your vibration. Bring it back to center, bring it back to yourself. Make sure that you're not allowing people to step over their boundaries with you. That's another very big test that we've got on our pathway at the moment, is this issue of boundaries. The very triggered people out there, the people whose cognitive dissonance, and I said it right this morning, people who are having their cognitive dissonance challenged on a daily basis are beginning to get increasingly aggressive. Now, this is, you know, you'll read it in any kind of psychology textbook, or it's something which is described as Mr. Smith syndrome. The second somebody has their reality challenged, there is a Mr. Smith that appears to defend it. Okay, so this is a lot of this is going on at the moment, again, detached from the drama, detached from the reality. You can't wake somebody up for them. Okay, you can't stand in front of them with a placard, you can't talk them out of whatever they're seeing or whatever they're perceiving as their reality at the moment. Only the process that we are experiencing and are living our lives or leading our lives by example can you actually achieve this. Okay, so this is what I wanted to focus on this morning. Bring it back to you. Okay, bring everything in your reality begins with you, because as within, so without. If you're stable, if you're grounded, if you're at a high frequency, everything else around you will align with that vibration. If you're throwing your attention to people, to circumstances, and kind of like maybe viewing them as completely out of alignment or wrong, then a lot of the time that's going to shift all of the energy. That where attention goes, energy flows. Okay, now this is quite an art form at the moment. We've got to be quite precise and we've got to be quite dedicated with it, because the way that the manifestation is occurring on our current timeline is very rapid. I don't think I've spoken about the thought manifestation reality process at the moment, but compared to what it was 8, 9, 10 years ago, we are roughly creating our reality 2,000 times faster than we did a decade ago. Now let that filter in a little bit. So you think about something, or you focus your attention upon it, and the kind of the vibration at which it is created or it activates within your emotional fields is quite. I know it's all numbers and everything, but it's something like 2,000 times faster than it used to be, which is why a lot of us have been caught out in this new energy, kind of managing to manifest for ourselves things that we don't actually want, because we're kind of, all of the programming, all of the things that we need to release have come to the surface, and it's all got kind of mixed up in this melting pot. And it is a fine art. Manifestation has changed, so the way to start and be most focused is with yourself. Okay, as I say again, as within, so without. As above, so below. It all begins with you. So just anything that's going on around you, be it your partner, your work colleagues, people that you've hung out with for years and years and years, you can't save them or you can't rescue them. You know, that's just the kind of the basic principle. But you can lead. You can just be who you are in your highest frequency, and when people are ready, they will follow, they will gravitate, they will walk by your side, they will be, you know, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are going through this transition at the moment, this transition from ego to heart, and it's all, everything that you are seeing around you has been agreed to. It's a collective dark night of the soul. Okay, now the dark night of the soul is something that comes up continuously at the moment. You know, when we've talked about it before, it was kind of almost like a revered personal experience that every single one of us has this kind of acutely accurate memory of what it was. Because let's face it, if you've been through a dark night, you will remember it, and you will remember it for the rest of your physical time on this planet. But what's happening out there at the moment is it's a collective experience. It's part of the mass wake up. So literally these huge waves of people that are being pushed through this vibration gateway are experiencing a collective dark night of the soul. So I know it sounds completely against what we would be naturally, or what we would gravitate to do naturally, but it's so important that we just stand back and not just let everything kind of burn and fall around us, but let people navigate through this process unless we're given the green light to intervene, unless we're asked. And there's that, it's, you know, it's a very, very visible distinction between the two. I'm not by any means sitting here telling you never to help anybody, not to do this, you know, that's not what I mean. But the whole concept of save and rescue at the moment, because it's becoming very prominent, we're driven by this sense of urgency that is so high that and so many of us are concerned that we're not going to be able to bring our loved ones through this vibration. This ascension process isn't selective, it is for everybody. Okay, so don't, you know, it's not going to be recognizable within people in the way that you might originally have thought it would be. You know, maybe your life partner, your husband or your wife, like they've never been interested in what you're interested in. You love crystals, you love going to workshops, you love talking about angels or self-help and everything, but your other half just like, nah, that's not for me. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not awake and they're not conscious on a completely different level. They've just got a different way of identifying with it. So just be aware of this at the moment, because I'm seeing a lot of people very concerned about, you know, who's going to be coming along. It's not, it's for everybody. Okay, if somebody has chosen to continue learning at a third dimensional frequency, then that's their sole choice. Okay, their soul made an agreement because they have not, or they don't feel that they have learnt a sufficient quantity from existing in the third dimension, and all of us have. Okay, we've done lifetime after lifetime after lifetime of earth experiences, challenges, tests, initiations, and we've learned what we need to learn. We're just simply moving on. So just be who you are, stabilize this vibration of yours, bring yourself into the column of light, and as often as you need to, ground, drink plenty of water, you know, spend time out in nature. It's the only time you're ever going to not see me outside in the garden is if it's bucketing down with rain, because the second I'm out here I feel connected, I feel tuned in, I feel tuned into the world around me. So it's very healing. Just take that time for yourself, because it's getting intense out there, as you all know. And you just simply, when you're dragged off key, when you're asked to look at things, or you might tune into things that aren't resonant with your fields, and they trigger that feeling of fear, just bring it back, raise your vibration. Okay, always begins with you. As I say again, as within, so without, as above, so below. Okay, sending you all lots of love this Friday. I hope you have a beautiful end to the week and a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you again on Monday. Lots of love. Bye for now.